Okay, so 2 days ago, I went and I watched Terrifier 3. It's kind of hard to not talk about spoilers. There's not really like a twist though. And if you've seen the second one, I think we're good to talk spoilers because it just kind of brings back plot points from the second one. There's not really like a spoiler thing, you know? So I am going to be going over like some shit that I liked that I guess could spoil things, but if you know about Terrifier, he's kind of just like our modern day slasher icon. And it's really, really cool to not only have a slasher icon at the moment, but one that's actually taking over theaters. Terrifier 3 has made at this point, okay, last time I checked, it was like 15 million, but I'm sure it's more than that at this point. Terrifier 3 is not only killing it, but it's seriously, it's the #1 unrated movie of all time. It has made the most money in the box office than any other unrated movie of all time. It's beaten out a Beyonce movie, like a concert. So like all of those concert movies that like huge pop artists try to put in theaters, Terrifier 3 completely squashed it. And it's awesome because it's really a brutal movie. And I love that there is a slasher out there that takes that like pushes the envelope the way it does, but not just to do it. I think a lot of people consider Terrifier to be like the goriest series out right now. And I think you're right, but the first one and the second one really provide a lot of shock gore, a lot of like shock trauma. And I think the third one, the director has taken some notes to kind of add more nuance and to add more pacing and to bring things, I don't know, it felt better. Everything felt like it actually had a reason. Terrifier 3 is a Christmas movie. It's actually a Christmas movie. The very first scene is Terrifier, or not Terrifier, I always think his name is Terrifier, is literally Art the Clown being Santa, and he kills children. Like there's no, it's absolutely unrated for a reason. And the kill is off screen, but like he kills a child. He's straight up like there's animal murder in it. Like he squashes rats and all of it. But like I'm saying though, it actually does hit. Yeah, the director does do most of the shit himself. So he's a special effects guy and he is a director. Now Terrifier 2, I think, I mean, dude, compared to Terrifier 1, it was so many levels better. Terrifier 1 is mainly in one location the whole time, besides like the very first scene where they're in a diner. I'm gonna kind of go through 1, 2, and 3 to kind of tell y'all like why I think 3 hit so hard, because I think the progression is important. It really is. Like, so trust me on this, okay? Terrifier 1, I don't think is a good movie. I feel like Terrifier 1 is a great special effects showcase, but it does not do a good job with being entertaining, and it's kind of just gore to have gore. That's the best part. Like, if you're in it for the gore, that's it. But I think the movie, the first one, definitely needs a story and just reasoning and characters that you like and stuff like that. So, Damien Leone, if that's how you say it, Leone, he's listening to these critiques and it's very apparent, dude. It does have a lot of just, you know, killing bitches to kill them, like a lot of slasher classics have. But I think he heard that note and he was like, no, I don't want to be like that, since it's already been done. And that's what people kind of will just focus on a lot. And you can tell that Damien has a lot more he wants to bring. And so he kind of cut that out with 2. Terrifier 2 is a lot longer, and it's because they introduce an entire story. Like, there's no story in the first one, so in the second one you have an actual story to pay attention to. I think at times it does get like a little weird, like it doesn't really make sense. But I think it works because it's a lot more entertaining than the first in that way. It's cool how he started including a lot of different scenes, like a lot of different environmental changes, like dream sequences, and you can tell he's really inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street. So the second one just added a lot to that, but yeah, the main thing I want to say about the second one is it does drag a lot. But without Terrifier 2, like that's the movie that really got Art the Clown on the map. Like no one fucking knew who Art the Clown really was in a mainstream kind of way until Terrifier 2. Even though it is long as f***, it was the movie that got Art the Clown as a Halloween costume. At Comic-Cons, everyone started figuring out who he was and stuff. So you have to give icon status to Terrifier 2. But it does last 20 minutes too long. And I swear to God, he knew that we said that for the third one. The third one has incredible pacing throughout the entire movie. Like everything is so perfect. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's honestly it was almost a perfect horror movie with just how, like, they don't drag on the dramatic scenes. Like, they're talking about her trauma. They don't linger on it too much. The actress is like perfect at displaying what her trauma is that she's going through. It never feels cringe. Like, she's getting so much better at knowing this character. Like, she does like the laughing through crying thing perfectly. Like, it's so good. And then in the third one, they really start to highlight like Art the Clown himself. In the second one, they start to bring him out, but they really only give him moments like this where he's just like, and he's just kind of like, and it's funny and it works and shit, but it was way too mimey. I think he's a good mime, but it was way too one note still. Like, I think Art the Clown in the second one was just, his personality started to come out, but they still limited him to being just kind of like someone that went like this, like, you know, just kind of like a clown. That was also a mime. But dude, listen to me when I say this, because I don't throw this shit out there. I would never do this to Pee-wee. But holy f***ing shit, dude. He emulates like a Pee-wee character in the third one, and it's so good. It's so good. He, I swear to God, took notes from Paul Rubens and starts doing, like, he has like a million different looks. Art the Clown himself in Terrifier 3 is a 13 out of 10, and I don't give out 13s like that. He milks every single fucking scene he is in. Every shot he's in, he like adds something new. Like, there's a new face, there's a new move, and it's insane how animated he went from like just being like to now he's just, I don't know, man, you gotta see it. He is exactly as if Pee-wee Herman did a horror role. Like, if Pee-wee Herman were cast in a scary movie and didn't have the ability to speak, holy shit. It was so good, and I swear to God, it's an homage to Pee-wee. Because there are some parts, like, he does this thing, like, where he goes, like, and he, like, I can't do it, but, like, he, like, blinks really fast. Like, he goes, like, and he does that really quickly, and never again. But when he does it, it hits so hard, like, shit like that. It's just, like, there's moments where every single second he is on the screen, you get a new animation from him. It's like seeing, I don't know how he did it. Terrifier 2, Art the Clown is obviously really dope. It's what put him on the map, but 3 is where he, oh my God. Like, him, Art the Clown, y'all know how I feel at this point. Like, he fucking nailed it. But then the girl, I never really cared too much about the final girl, you know? I never really thought it mattered. I guess it did matter, but with Terrifier 3, and you notice how well and perfect she is in this role, it actually literally physically sets the bar for other final girls in the future. I think Micah Monroe is a great like final girl. I don't know, like making your main character girl, the one that's going through all of it, the chosen one, whatever the fantasy plot you want to throw on her, she soaks it in and like absolutely fucking nails it. And it just makes you think about the other good final girls in the past, and like she is definitely one of them, and it's absolutely gonna have to be a thing for the future of horror. Like people are going to have to match her because she has set it up so hard at this point. Like it's crazy because you think about it, and I'm not shitting, but Scream, the Scream remakes are ass. And I'm not even gonna lie, it's because of the main girl. Like I think everyone else kind of does an okay job, but like I don't know, the main character girl is so hard to watch. Not even in a bad acting way, but in a boring way. Just in like, oh my God, can we get the next kill? Like, I hate this shit. This is dragging on. I don't care about her trauma. Fuck this. This is stupid. But in Terrifier 3, every single moment was dope with her in it and art. Okay? And good thing, most of the movie is just that. Anytime that you have Art the Clown and you have the main girl in it, it's fucking honestly 11 out of 10. And I had this thought while watching it, and I was like, this cannot be that good. Like there's something, this cannot be hitting this hard. The kills were fun. Just trust me on this. The pacing was perfect. There was not a single boring moment for me. And I was just shocked by that with Terrifier 3, okay? And then here comes, these are the L's, okay? This is the L moment. L, 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 L. But this is okay because I think the director, like we said, takes notes. Now, everything is going perfectly, and then all of a sudden, this is the biggest spoiler of the movie. So mute me if you want, but it just, spoiler alert, everyone dies or is on the verge of dying because it's Terrifier. But the movie goes from being this streamlined, pretty beat by beat experience, and then bam, all of a sudden, her brother is just dead. Like, her brother is just gone. And if love him or hate him, he's a main character. Like, you gotta hear him out. You gotta know where he's going with his story. And then all of a sudden, he's just gone. No body, no death. It made me feel like he did something f***ed up on the set. They had to like cut it out. So this is where I think he was taking critique from the first or the second one. I had this thought in the shower tonight. I was like, maybe it was sort of a f*** you to people that said that. It went from everything is flowing, and then she wakes up from a dream and you're like, oh, this is just gonna be one of those, like, she's gonna wake up from another dream sort of thing. But it ends up not being that. It just starts to be the finale, and her brother is nowhere to be found, but the whole movie is spent on her and her brother coping with Terrifier 2, because in Terrifier 2, it's the same brother and sister, so it's a continuation, or like 3 is a continuation from 2. It's the same brother and sister, so they're trying to cope from everything that happened in the second movie. And like I said, it actually works. Like the acting is good, it's not cringe, it's believable. You're like, yeah, man, I actually would be traumatized too. Like, and it's really good. And then he's all of a sudden just not in the movie, and like, they cut out his death completely. And the movie all of a sudden felt like you went to pee or something for 20 minutes and came back and missed the whole exposition of the finale. I swear to God, Damien Leone, the director, had to cut it out for like theater purposes, or he did it as a you for us saying that Terrifier 2 is too long. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's the first one, because I don't think he's that kind of guy that's like, you. You made my movie so popular, so you. I don't think he would do that. But it was actually really jarring because the rest of the movie flows so well. And then trust me on that. Like where it's like everything makes so much sense. I was just like, woo, this is so good. And then the final 20 minutes, like he's just gone. The brother is dead and it's like his skull is the only thing that's left. And that's it. And I know that sounds like, yeah, well, who cares? It's just a brother. He was annoying anyways. The whole movie sets you up to kind of care at that point. Yeah, the skull has these like glasses because the brother wears the glasses. So they do what they can with it, but it was missing about, I guess, 20 minutes, or I would give it maybe it needed 5 minutes. Like maybe even just 5 minutes of the kill, maybe just showing how he died, what Art the Clown did to him, whatever. But they did not include any of that. And I find that really interesting because that was honestly a killer, like a mood killer at that point. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where all of a sudden it didn't make sense. And then they threw in, and so like the finale starts to happen, the final act starts to happen, and you're already trying to like kind of understand like, okay, the brother's dead. And then they throw in like the portal to hell opens from the floor underneath them, and they have to use this flaming sword given to her by her dad to like stab Art the Clown, but then that doesn't end up working. And it's because like she's the chosen one, but maybe she's not the chosen one. And so it involves a lot of like Wes Craven type shit at the end that I think actually would work if it had that extra time, but it didn't. It just blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It was interesting though, because it's like the rest of the movie I thought was so good. This sounds so cheesy, but I got like choked up in the middle of it a tiny bit because I was like, this is so good, and I'm so happy that we're getting like a really brutal horror movie that's in theaters right now. I was like so happy, and then it just all of a sudden rips the rug out from underneath you and kind of tries to seal the deal too quickly. They do wrap it up, you know, with like, they throw in some Easter eggs at the end. They keep your hopes up that there probably is going to be a 4. And then they did announce that they are doing Terrifier 4. So that's good. We'll see what happens there. I wonder if anyone else has said this stuff though. I haven't really heard any other reviews, but I've seen like some quick thoughts that are written out like on, you know, social media and stuff. And I haven't seen anyone talk about how weird that was, that all of a sudden the brother is just dead. You don't think he's dead? That's a good point too. Maybe he's not. Anyways, I think it's really fucking good. I give it an 8 out of 10, and I'm not kidding you. I was gonna go full 9.5 out of 10. Wasn't perfect, but that last 20 minutes docked it down to like an 8 because I was that just like about it. So yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10 for Terrifier 3.